the Riot. It's a Thursday. I'm in bed. How do I know I'm in bed? Because I'm on vacation, because this is Worst of the Riot 2017.
Enjoying some of our favorite moments from 2017, and hopefully you'll enjoy a couple we've chosen for you today.
So,
drum roll. And the list is...
Well, I decided to include this because I feel like, and I believe I even say this in the bit itself, but, GameStop gets a lot of bad press. But I had a great experience at GameStop this year, and I'm including it in the podcast.
This is the only one.
This is where I got the PlayStation 4 Pro, and the guy that worked there was just unbelievably helpful to me.
Are you being sarcastic?
No
this
sarcasm.
Is real?
It's real.
Okay.
Unbelievably helpful, Nikki.
I won't trust us, though, until you hear it.
You go ahead and hear it. Oh, snack shaming.
That happens all year.
At the movies. Mean people on the internet, the selfie paradox, Nikki goat farming, the phrase...
is this when goat farming started?
I don't know if it's when it started, but it was in its infancy.
Okay.
Chunky watermelon surprise. Ugh. I don't know what this is, but here's what I love. This is the title of the bit. Literary persuasion discussion. That's capital P, Nikki's book. And fatty 2x4.
Of course. Sometimes what we like when we do a look back at our 2017 or any of our years, we really like to go back and look at the titles of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just to see if we can remember when we talked about it.
And here's one for you. We have to stop eating wings. I remember that discussion. We went over
like back to back chicken wings.
We went to a chicken wing buffet, and I remember us coming back. And we were
was this the one where it wasn't good? We went a little later.
No, that was a different one. This was the one where I just came back and I'm like, we're sick every time we go. We come back like, I feel so bad. We have to stop. But of course we don't.
But we're so happy going in.
Mm-hmm. So you guys enjoy this podcast, and we hope that your week between Christmas and New Year's has been great.
Please join us at Radio U Riot. Make sure you post there. Let us know how your week's going. Did you get anything good from Christmas, or what are you... That's so lame. What are you doing today?
What are you doing?
What are you guys doing today?
What are you doing? It is the Riot.
The Worst of the Riot 2017. We edited out all the good stuff. And this is what was left. Radio U.
Look, Nikki and I, mostly me, when we have a negative experience, we like to come in, tell everybody, and make sure.
Do you guys not have the ability to do that when something happens in your life? To
tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
And
as we do.
We do. And you know what? I just feel like I had a positive experience, and I should share the positive experience.
You should. I think that helps highlight the fact that it's not all negative that happens with you.
It's not all negative. It starts that way, but something good comes out of it. Friday afternoon, I went to GameStop. I don't go to GameStop that often. And quite frankly, GameStop, I hear a lot of people say a lot of mean things about GameStop.
Hurtful words.
But I decided, because I'm an idiot, that I wanted to go from my PlayStation 4 to a PlayStation 4 Pro. And I did the math, and I had enough that I could just trade.
Make it even.
And walk out. And, Nikki, here's an important phrase. Cash neutral.
Sure.
Cash neutral. I didn't end up having to pay like $10 or $15.
It doesn't count.
That's still not too bad,
That's
right?
not bad at
it's
all.
It's not too bad. So I went to GameStop, and I learned a lesson. And the lesson is this, is that on your PlayStation 4 right now, if you want to wipe your PlayStation 4, just like you would your phone, if you were going to sell it or whatever, there are two kinds of factory resets you can do. One that'll reset it but leave the software on it, and one that'll completely wipe out your PlayStation's operating system, making it of basically little to no worth.
Make it a brick? Why would it do that?
You can why would you do that?
Why would you have that option?
Why would you do that?
It's not your phone. It's your PlayStation.
I put Linux on my PlayStation. I don't even know if the PS4 will do that. The PS3 actually would.
If you want to mod it out.
So you can do a factory reinstall, but you have to download the OS, put it on a USB, put it in, and install it, et cetera, et cetera.
That seems like trouble.
Well, when you go into GameStop, they check to make sure that you're not selling them something that's broken. So when they turn it on, I'm just like, fine. I'm like, man, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm doing great.
But you did the wrong factory reset.
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed to tell you that what I did, with the PlayStation, it's more complicated. You have to go in and tell it it's not your primary PlayStation, like all this stuff you have to do. So I just Googled it and just followed the instructions. And instead of really educating myself, I'm just like, whatever, I'm ticking the boxes. I don't care.
I'm deleting it all.
So I got there, and Nick behind the counter was like, hey, did you was like, yeah. And he's like, well,
You did the other one.
Yeah, and it's a problem. So I just want to say that Nick from GameStop,
way to go.
He went ahead and installed he did all of the work for me.
And you had to wait?
No, I didn't. He said, I'll just take care of it.
Oh, that's nice of him.
It was nice of him.
Way to go. That's a good person. That's a hero.
I know. He was my GameStop hero that afternoon. And I just wanted to say that,
is that
often...
our hero of the morning?
Maybe.
Is that a new segment?
Maybe it is. But I just want to say that a lot of times, what do? Come in here, it's all negative. And did you hear the negative in the story?
There was some, but
but
it came through at the end of a positive.
It came around at the end.
Met a good person, got a good PlayStation.
I know. It's pretty great, right? Yeah. It all came together.
Did you feel slightly embarrassed at first? It's like rookie mistake.
Yes, because one, just that I didn't like get mad like throwing things, but I got so mad at myself,
frustrated
because it was just one of those things where I was like, dude, I was just that guy who went on the internet and was just like, oh, I don't know, just click this.
Delete it all.
And I'm never that guy. I'm the guy that people call when that happens.
Yeah, to fix the problem.
Like, hey, I hit did you click the, okay, I'll be over in a minute. I'll help you out. I'm that guy. I'm not the guy that does that clicking.
Aww.
So it was just, it's all very embarrassing. But Nick at GameStop, a GameStop employee, he didn't try to get me to pre-order anything. Instead, he knew
you had enough going on.
He was just there to help me.
Oh, that's so nice.
It really was.
So you enjoy your new PlayStation?
Yeah, you know what? I played all the way through Titanfall 2 on it this weekend because I just needed something to see whatever. And yeah, it's great. Like, looks really nice. And, Nikki, with Hulu HD, you can watch. The only thing that Hulu offers in 4K is the Bond films. And here's what's really weird is I think they might be showing up on Netflix soon because that's only through today.
Oh, that's the last day.
But hey, got a free 2 weeks.
Good for you.
Time to cancel.
It's the Worst of the Riot 2017 on Radio U.
So, man, we're all about snacking today. We've had Oreo candy bars, which were delicious, but also made us sick.
That was for work. That was the Riot Food Fight. We taste tested the Oreo chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to see, I added it to our Radio U official Instagram story.
Oh, wouldn't you love to follow us on Instagram?
So you can see that there if you want to see what it looks like.
So we were just talking about how last week free refills on soda became illegal in France because of obesity. So they don't want to end up fat like
France.
us.
That was their decision.
Yeah. Well, it's a terrible thing. So now we're on to this. And this is the one that really caught my attention. And I've been sitting on waiting to get to you, Nikki. All right. Let's see. This is a story. I think this one is from the UK, but it's in the New York Post. There are a couple of theaters that are doing this. It's called snack shaming. You know what snack shaming is? You can't
bring snacks into the theater?
I'm talking about movie theaters where the guy at the front, the ticket taker, the one that is the gatekeeper to the whole theater, he asks you to open your bag.
That's happened. Then you get searched.
That's not out of... Quite honestly, I don't even see that as a big deal. People want to do crazy stuff in theaters. You're bringing in a bag. What's in the bag? Fine. All right,
but they're searching the bag usually for weapons. And while they're doing that, they can see if you bring in snacks.
That's right. And so this particular theater in New York is not allowing people in the theater if they have outside snacks.
Yeah, most theaters will take that away.
Okay, no, look, that you look the other way on that. Okay,
you're supposed to be cool enough with it.
That's right.
You're supposed to just let me in.
The guy in this particular case with this article, the lady said that, and they've talked to several people, that the guy was like, look, I'm really sorry, but I could lose my job. You can't come in here with that.
I think there's a difference between if you're walking in with like combos and you've got like a whole fast food setup going on, or if you're bringing in a small box of chocolates, something like that.
Like an Oreo cookie, candy bar or something
that
like that.
just hides a little bit better on you. Like you can just put in your coat or something.
That's what I do.
But some people bring in food, and they do not like that.
Well, listen, first off, who are you to tell me, what? Who do you think you are? See, here's what I don't like. I feel like they are shining, they got this little flashlight, okay, that they're shining on the quote-unquote wrong that you're doing.
Yeah.
I would like to take a floodlight and shine it over
right back
at the snack bar where they're like, Yeah, of course. I realize this is 10 cents worth of popcorn, but it's reasonable that it's $17.75.
Where at our theater, they don't even put the prices up. They're so high for the food. You're like, what is this?
They literally don't list the prices.
$20-something, and it's just like popcorn and a drink. But if you have a bag, you can also just sometimes keep the stuff in your pockets, like of the bag, because they tend to not. They just peek in. They're not. I don't think they're allowed to open up things.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like, could you lift the back of your coat? Okay, now bend over. There's an outline in those pants there.
Is that a hamburger?
Could you tell me what that is?
No, what is that? Is it fries?
Like,
but so many theaters are trying to get you to buy not just concession snacks, but food, like meal food.
Yeah.
They don't want you to do that.
I go, they're like, they got a pizza place in there and a burger place. And I'm like, guys, stop. Just stop it.
They just want all the money.
I'm literally here. Okay, but I guess I'm like a weird person. Like, my goal when I'm going to the theater is to not give them any money. I'm going at the cheapest time to buy a movie ticket. I'm only there for the movie.
And you want free popcorn.
I'm not there to eat.
Yeah.
I'm just there for the movie. The movies
are so bad that the eating of the food is the bonus.
No, whether you're going to the wrong movie. And I also don't get soda because as much as I love soda, that's like me signing a letter of intent to spend half the movie going, I have to go to the bathroom. No, I don't. I have to go to the bathroom.
Or you want a refill.
Got to get a refill. No. So you go to the bathroom, get a refill, come back. I hope the movie's not long. Or maybe you want it to be long so you can have a break in the middle. I don't know. I just wanted to know. Here's my question. Have you ever been snack shamed at a theater?
They've never taken anything away, but I've been searched. That was normal.
They take you in a side room or something?
No. They look in the bag and stuff.
I want to hear if you guys 8772 Radio U. I'm telling you, I want to hear about snack shaming. Someone is snack shamed. So I want to know if you've ever been forced to not go into the theater because you had food.
But I told you we used to bring in soda and stuff in like glass bottles because then
glass bottles?
When you're in the movie, it'd be funny. We would roll them down the steps and the aisleways and stuff.
Man, it's too expensive to get in there to play around. I got to be serious. I spent all this money. I got to focus.
It's fun to go play around.
I got to get focused.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
The Worst of the Riot 2017 is exactly like Snapchat, except that it sucks and nothing ever gets deleted. It's The Riot on Radio U.
So snack shaming is happening at this movie theater.
Which I think you could say snack shaming could be a possibility any place.
You think so?
It's not just at the movie theater.
Well, I mean, Nikki, that one time, whatever the heck you made in the microwave, it really did stink. And you could smell it all the way upstairs.
When I had fish and vegetables?
Now that was work. That was
bring something healthy into work and you cook it, and everyone says something. But when it's just a candy bar or something, like, no one say anything.
Well, it's because it doesn't smell.
Gosh.
You don't notice what it smells like. I mean,
I apologize for using the microwave.
If you're going to cook fish, you're going to get snack shamed. All right, okay.
That was lunch shamed.
It was a snack. That was a post show snack. That wasn't lunch.
No, I had it for lunch. I had an early lunch.
Okay. All right. That's a whole other discussion, right? Okay.
All right, get to him. He's been waiting.
Fine. Well, him has a name, Nikki. It's Marcus. Marcus, did you get snack shamed at the theater?
I most certainly did get snack shamed at the theater.
What, did they still let you in?
Well, here's the thing. I got into the theater. No one knew I had snacks. I'm very good at concealing my snacks. I actually once got a Grater's ice cream cone into the movie theater, and no one knew about it.
Congratulations.
Right here.
Is a talent. You should put that on your resume when you go for your job.
I'm so good at sneaking past
And actually, it is on my resume right now.
All right, Marcus, so what happened?
Steve. So I went to the movies with my cousin, and I told him I'd take care of the snacks. So I bought an array of snacks and had them in my pants pocket, jacket pocket.
Yeah.
So me and him were sitting there. I give him his snacks. I have mine, but I have an extra box of Raisinets. So I looked at the guy next to me, and I asked him if he wanted some Raisinets, and he goes, sure. So I hand him the box from out of my pocket, and he starts eating it. Then he looks at me, and he goes, did you purchase these? And I said, well, yeah, I purchased these. And he goes, oh. And then he goes, did you purchase them from this theater? And I looked at him and I go, just know that I purchased them. And he kind of just stared at me, put the box in like his cup holder, and then wouldn't touch them for the rest of the movie. And then after the movie, he handed the box back to me and said, here you go, thank you, they were delicious. And it's like, I know you didn't eat any of them because you thought you were doing something wrong.
But maybe he thought you were a trap. Maybe he thought you were someone from the theater who was trapping people into eating snacks from outside of the theater, and then you would get in trouble.
He takes one bite and you're like, all right, sir, we have to go.
He backs away from
it's time to go right now.
So it could
If
be...
that was a job, I would take that job.
Yeah.
Tricking people to eating bad candy and getting paid to watch movies. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Well, that would work well, but I think maybe he was afraid.
Man, Marcus could be like the air marshal, but at the theater.
Yes, a theater marshal.
It's amazing.
That would be awesome. Theater, I like that title, the theater marshal.
All right, Marcus, thanks for calling.
Have a good day. Like, then that way they can see if you snuck in or snuck food in.
Okay, but this brings up a whole other set of questions right here. Okay, a whole other set of questions. You're in a movie theater, and a stranger pulls candy out of their pocket and offers it to you.
I was told never to accept candy from a stranger.
I got to be honest.
I'm not accepting the Raisinets.
I'd have a hard time accepting candy from a friend that they've pulled out. Just like,
let alone
you want some candy?
a stranger.
There's some dude sitting next to you that's like, hey, man, want some candy? And you're like, hey, I don't want to mess with whatever.
Even if you say it looks sealed.
I've been clean for 6 months.
But you don't know what they've done to that.
You don't know? Maybe that was the problem. He's like, oh, this box of candy, like, did you bring this candy in here?
Who knows? You never know what you might come up against at the movie theater.
Makes me nervous. You know, we should have a society where nobody's getting shamed about anything.
We should probably go to a movie just to test all this out. We should today, don't you think?
We should research
it's $5 day.
For the show.
It's $5 day.
You know, Nikki, at the Riot Theater, it's $5 every day before 5 p.m.
It's the Worst of the Riot 2017 on Radio U.
Another day, another alternative career path for Nikki.
What do I need to do?
Well, you know what? Let's take a look at all of the different career paths I have laid out for you. Okay. I said that you could become a goat farmer, which I still think is a great option for you. You raise baby goats.
I don't know what I would do with them, but I could raise them.
You would nurture them and love them and care for them and then sell them.
Sell them or or goat milk or what do you do?
Maybe their milk. I don't know.
I don't think it's for food.
Okay. So then you didn't like that. We had the snake farm in Kenya.
Passed
you rejected
on that.
Yesterday, I told you that you could easily follow in the career path of Oprah. You go from having your own show, and then you could become a special correspondent on 60 Minutes.
Also
you
passed
rejected
on
that outright.
I don't.
Okay?
I'm just hard to please.
All right, here's another one for you. Christy, she's from Texas. She loves animals.
I do too.
That's you. She likes caring for animals.
I do. I love animals.
She likes to care for rescued animals.
I do too. Okay. What do we do then?
Well, Nikki, I don't know if you're aware of just how misunderstood alligators are.
No, that's where I stopped there.
Do you know that alligators are basically the animal kingdom's version of an introvert? They just want to be left alone. They want to do their own thing.
They don't want to be killed.
And then here comes you splashing and having a good time. And eventually the alligator's like, leave me alone. Okay, I'll eat you. And that's the problem. So what Christy has done is she left her job. She was like you. She's a high power
go-getter.
She was in the dental field, and she
just
left.
Like me.
Well, okay. I mean, you're not in the dental
whatever field
but,
you are.
Right. But she left that full-time job, and now she's a gator catcher, and she's got her own business called Gator Squad. That's you.
I don't know, though, if that's a rescue thing or, like, what are they doing with the gators once they catch them? Do they release them somewhere else?
Okay, let's see here. She's rescued over 300 of these giant reptiles, some that weigh as much as 500 pounds. And let's see. People are afraid. What does she do with them after she catches them?
She eats them.
No, she's not eating them.
Wouldn't that be like your hidden shame if you were renowned as like a gator catcher who tries to save them, but yet secretly you eat them?
Real talk, I have no idea what she does with them after she rescues. They probably release them somewhere.
Maybe.
Here she is kissing a gator. This could be you. Like, this could totally be you.
Now, if you took out gators and put in bears, I probably would actually go with that.
See, I don't think.
But I don't really like alligators.
The thing is, like this, she goes out and captures alligators with her bare hands. Like, she's like a gator whisperer. And you can't do that with bears.
Mm-mm.
You can't.
Well, maybe if I was a bear whisperer.
Well, I don't know. You're going to have to go.
And they were baby bears.
And you could be Bear Squad.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nikki
Perfect.
Bear Squad.
See, so I mean, all right, like we're riffing on it here. We're going off in a different direction, but I'm telling you,
It still could work for me.
you know what? We need a new segment. I think it's official now. Obadiah Guidance Counselor, and it's you
So you
coming
find my
into my
job.
office as I'm trying to help you find the job.
Well, thanks, Guidance Counselor Obi, for helping me.
That's the one. I think that's it.
Yes, I'm wondering if you're even listening to your morning show this morning. It's inappropriate, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Shame, shame, shame.
You're trying to forget, but we're forcing you to remember. It's the Worst of the Riot 2017 on Radio U.
Look, we all spend time online, and we all wonder, why is everybody so mean? Why are they so mean? Because, dude, people are mean.
Nasty.
And you know what? I feel like people are getting better at being mean. Like, over years of exposure to the internet, people who at one time might have made an offhand comment like, that's stupid, but now they are like sword sharpening each other. Their words are becoming like surgical strikes straight to your heart, cutting away like what little humanity you have left.
It used to be
Deeply
more
wounding.
like you're like, oh, it's a troll, and you could see it was obviously somebody just being mean to be mean online.
Right.
But now my concern is you see so many people being mean online that I think they're actually mean. Like, it's not a troll, it's just
Yes.
that's a mean person.
What you're saying right there.
A mean, normal day-to-day person. Mm-hmm. Not someone who just gets kicks out of being mean online.
Well, Nikki, guess what? You're right.
Yeah.
According to this joint study between Stanford and Cornell universities, here's what they found. That people who previously, as you said, you would say, hey, that's a troll. These days, it is just ordinary people. They say that they're influenced by what they call herd behavior. So, like, everybody's being mean, they be mean too. And they say that it actually has become a thing that when you go online, your personality just becomes, like, it almost becomes like a habit. Like, hey, you're online, therefore you're mean.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Meanness.
That's exciting to hear because that'll only get better and better.
Yeah. Well,
What's the next level that's possible after that?
one of the lead people in the study actually says they refer to it as the spiral of negativity.
Of doom.
It's crazy. While the common knowledge is that trolls are particularly sociopathic individuals that occasionally appear in conversations, it is not just these people who are trolling.
Yeah.
2 in 5 internet users say they have been the victim of trolling or cyberbullying. 1 in 5 comments on websites. So they looked at U.S. News and World Report, CNN, and a couple of other places, and they say 1 in 5 were so bad they had to be taken down.
So mean.
That's how mean people are. So, geez, guys, I guess, technically the people behind the study don't have any suggestions, but what Nikki and I are saying is that maybe today you just be a little nicer.
Well, we could be
Online.
How about this? We strive to be the exception. Give a little bit of niceness online and in real life as well. Mm-hmm. Be a little bit of positive, some nice comments. You could drop a few of those.
You know what you could do? You could do what somebody's mom said one time somewhere. If you can't say anything nice,
don't type anything at all out, guys.
just don't do it.
No comments.
Just back away. Because, you don't want to be the one to start the spiral of negativity, even if it would be really funny. And
Even
believe
if
me,
it was such a good one.
I know how hard it is to hold on to those ones that are really, really good.
The Riot solemnly swears to work harder and to do better next year. Yeah, we've heard that before. It's the Worst of the Riot 2017 on Radio U.
So, as we mentioned moments ago, Nikki and I have, we've built up a celebration. This weekend, we're going to the movies. We're taking Eric and my dad. So we're celebrating pre-Valentine's Day, pre-birthday, birthday, whatever. My dad's birthday is the 15th.
Oh, yeah.
Yours is the 19th.
Correct.
Valentine's Day is the 14th. We're wrapping it all up into one mega celebration.
Yeah, if you have a birthday during that time, please join in because you are a part of the birthday celebration as well.
Yeah, I feel weird about seeing 50 Shades during the day, but
We're not seeing that movie. Just in case someone was wondering, we are not seeing that movie together. or even separately. We're not.
Just gonna get some popcorn and just,
No, we're not. And I know you're like, oh, you're just saying that because you are, but you don't know. We are not seeing that movie.
No, we're not.
I don't want that to be a joke. Oh, that'd be weird.
We got free coupons with the cigarettes in the mail.
Nope, no one did. No one got coupons or tickets or anything like that.
Okay, so we're going to the movies, but, Nikki, I got a peek at you yesterday when I was like, I'll just go and buy the tickets.
You have to tell everything, don't you?
Well,
I like certain seats in the theater. I do, and it's a plan.
It's interesting that it suddenly turned into, like, whatever seats I was going to pick for us, not good enough.
You know why? You'd put us right in the center in the middle, which is exactly where we ended up being.
No, we're back. We're back farther than I would have put us.
You had gone down far, or closer than that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, no. See, I like to be closer to the top of the stadium seating. Well, I like to be slightly to the left, not the right side of the theater. And I like to plan it out. So
do you have a crank in your neck? So, like, my head naturally turns this way?
I don't know why. And I like to be not, like, for us, we have stadium seating that's like recliners.
Yeah.
So on the row, I don't like to be the two recliners at the very end, but I like to be the next set or half over.
What?
So that's what I like. Is it wrong to like something?
No. I get it, okay? Because there is, like, I get that. But, like, I have a reason why I like to be a little closer and in the middle.
Is it because your contacts or your eyes? Or
no, it's that if I'm paying all this money for a huge screen, I'm not going to sit all the way back there so it looks like my TV.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
I mean, I'm paying for this big thing. Plus, I want to be, okay.
I see.
Excuse me, can I finish? Do you mind if I finish? Okay.
I'm not going anywhere. And I have the tickets.
So I want to sit there in the middle because the sound is engineered specifically
for
that,
the
closer to the center, you're going to get the effects a little bit better.
Sure.
Obviously, we could argue like, oh, no, any seat in that theater is a great seat.
That's what the theater wants you to believe.
That's what they would tell you, but whatever. Okay, so those are my reasons. I'm ready to hear yours.
No, I like to still feel like I can get out of the theater quick if I need to, so I like to be closer to the end.
But not all the way in.
And I don't like to sit next to people too often. It's like that in theaters and airplanes.
So I
try to make it work to where if I'm in the middle, I have a greater chance of someone else picking those seats. So I try to go to the end, and I closer to the end, and I know no one else is going to get the end seats.
But if it's like sold out or something, you're going to end up with somebody next to you.
We try to also go during times where it's not going to sell out. I'm not usually there during prime times with it. It's cheaper to go during the day.
You have some real specific.
I just don't know why. I do.
I should have seen the look on Nikki's face yesterday. Here's what I like is that Nikki doesn't like people to know that she wants something a certain way. And so
have opinions.
Right. And so what I really liked about it is that I could tell that you wanted to talk about it, but you were embarrassed. But your desire for the seats you wanted was stronger than the embarrassment of saying something.
Yes, that's correct.
She's like, I'm like, okay, I'll get the tickets. And she's like, well, are we going to pick out the seats?
Well, I thought we'd pick them out together. Because I didn't know you had a set that you like.
Well, I pick the best ones.
The middle ones. Let's call them the middle ones.
The best ones.
The middle ones.
The best ones.
No, it's not the best one. It's the middle ones.
Speaking of the middle ones, what are you... Never mind.
No, wait. I want to know what you were going to say.
It's fine. Let's just put our fingers down and get focused on the show.
That's not what I was doing. Quit lying. My fingers are down. All of them.
The Worst of the Riot 2017 sets a new standard for mediocrity in broadcasting. Congrats, guys. You did it. Again.
Nikki, have you ever heard of the selfie paradox?
Well, it's something to do with pictures then.
I'll tell you right now, the selfie paradox would be a great name for a band.
Yes, it would.
A great name for a band. Or I would argue perhaps a great name for a movie.
Yeah, but I feel like for a band maybe 3 or 4 years ago, because now it's not a selfie, it's just a picture. You know, like it's just our pics.
Well, see,
I can see that being dated in a couple of years.
You do selfie paradox, and then eventually you would just call yourselves the paradox.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd kind of drop selfie. It would still be there, and some people would still
treat it as original, but
that's how you would know if you were an old school fan or not.
Yes.
Like if you would call it selfie paradox.
Sure. So what is it, though?
Well, the selfie paradox is a phrase that is coming out of research done at the University of Munich. Here's what they did. They took a look at people. They grabbed people from Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. So it's European. So obviously it means nothing.
It might not be 100%, but let's hear what is the survey for or the study about.
Here's what they found. 77% of them said they take selfies at least once a month.
Yeah.
If by month you mean an hour. And they said that 49% say they receive or see selfies from other at least once a week. And here's what they found. 90% of the selfies of others that they saw, they always attribute negatively.
Selfies?
So if you see someone else's selfie, you attribute it as being self-promotional or negative, and you don't even look at it. Like when you're scrolling through social media, if someone takes a selfie, you don't look at their selfie. But 46% of people said when they looked at their own selfies, they saw them as fun and ironic
so they
and
don't
having
see
a lot
it
of
that
time.
way. Yeah, like maybe other people see it.
And this is the selfie paradox. We love taking selfies of ourselves, but we hate looking at the selfies that other people take.
Well, that's because sometimes I feel like we look better in a selfie form than we do if someone's just taking our picture. You have more control over the angles, and it's you doing it. Like, I feel like you can just make it work.
I do feel like anytime
Instead
somebody...
of like a portrait.
Anytime I see someone posting a selfie, I just assume they've taken 50 of those pictures until they finally got the one that they like just right.
That looks casual enough, like you weren't trying, but we all were.
Yeah, so that's just what I assume when I see a selfie.
But I don't think when I see somebody's selfie, I don't really think negative things about it.
Well, that puts you in the minority, Nikki, because 90% of people, and this, of course, in Austria, Germany, and Switzerland, when they see someone's selfie, they think, well, don't they think so much of themselves?
And I think I am part German, so I should be more critical of it.
You're in the German 10%, Nikki.
Apparently.
Because, I mean, some people enjoy those selfies, but most people are like, ugh. Look at you.
Now,
just get over yourself already.
What filter you use. No, that we all look at.
Yeah. I'll admit I probably fall in that 90%, especially when there are people in my feed like it's just a constant stream of selfies. And after a while, I'm like, you know what? Take a picture of something else.
It depends on their theme. Some people have a theme for their feed. So
here are pictures of me?
Could be. Like, that could be part of the theme.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
You just have to find a balance with it.
Yeah. I just know when I see people, and it's like, wow, I see a new picture of you every couple of hours.
That is a bit much.
Have you done anything?
It's the most egregious, stupid, embarrassing moments of the entire year. Played over and over again until you finally lose it. It's the Worst of the Riot 2017 on Radio U.
You know, when I think about Nikki, I still see Nikki as a goat farmer.
As a goat farmer?
I'm telling you, I still think there's a future there for you.
He read a story, was it last year or earlier this year?
It's been earlier this year. I've read 2 of them.
About some alternatives in case I don't want to keep doing radio. And one is, it was popular where you would be like a career woman, right?
Yes.
And then you would go and leave all that behind and be a goat farmer.
I found 2 women that did that.
Yeah.
They left their high-paying advertising jobs or whatever, and now they raise goats. And they had to take about like 70% pay cut. But they were making so much money that even now it's still not that money that's that bad. But they raise these goats, and they're just like these little baby goats.
They're cute, but I don't want to be a goat farmer.
No, I know, but I have another article here that I think may
be something I could do as a job?
Yeah, because, well, no. This just goes back to the goat thing. So there's a school in Brighton in the UK that has introduced basically goats to the school. They bought some goats, and they're like whittle goats, and
they go in the classroom to like relax kids, or
well, they use them to do all of the yard work. Like they just go around and eat all the grass instead of
having to pay someone to do that.
So the kids, as a reward for good behavior, and sometimes to help calm them down for bad behavior, they get some goat time.
That'd actually be cute as a kid.
All right,
or even honestly at work. But I still don't want to be a goat farmer.
Well, okay, if we could just, before you start with a bad attitude already, see what would happen is that you see how you always have these bad attitudes. Like, if you got to spend time with the goats, then what's going to happen to you, Nikki? You're going to calm down.
Down, yeah.
It's going to bring you down. All
but
right?
I don't want to take care of the goat.
Okay, that's what you feel now.
Oh, it'll all change my mind once I attach with them?
Yeah, once you go and spend actual goat time, because right now you're non-goat time Nikki.
I have never held a goat or touched a goat.
You've never had goat time?
I've never. That kind of weirds me out, but I think I'd be fine with it.
Well, guess what?
I could go there?
It's absolutely time. I get you out there on the goat farm with the kids, with the goat kids time. The kids in the go time, whatever. And all of a sudden, you're going to be like,
I got to take these guys home.
Man, I'm just having so much fun right now. I love it here.
Well, in case we ever get to try a goat program similar to that here at Radio U, that might be an option.
Well, guess what, Nikki? If you would take the time, you could have that. Like, it's not going to just happen. Like, you have to go and do it. I have to start it,
yes.
Right. So here's what I'm thinking is, like, what if we just took you part-time? All right, you come in and do the riot. You leave all your stressful stuff behind, where you have to deal with me the rest of the day. And, like, I'm
just okay with this.
They're just in the field behind the station. You just raise goats back there.
Sure.
All right, and then every once in a while, we'll all go out and have goat time. And I feel like our whole staff, like everything's going to change.
Now, if there's ever a morning that it's actually really stressful, like during the show, I could go and bring one in during that time, and that's just, that's a sign like, hey, Nikki's having problems today. Let's just get her a little baby goat.
Let's get some goat time in here, okay?
Now, you could take all that and just, instead of the word goat, put in puppies, and I'd probably be more likely to take and run with this.
So you feel like if we had puppy time?
Yeah, if we had a puppy party.
But see, the problem is that
your allergies.
You can't get puppy milk. And that's part of what makes the goat thing profitable is you're going to need that.
That's the part I'm not comfortable with.
You're going to need that. You know what? I think you're going to, like, I know that you feel like you're not, but I think you're going to do great, honestly. Like, I think you're going to surprise yourself.
How much I like it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really do. So, you know what? It's just something to think about. But I'll leave it to you. But I really see your future in goats, Nikki.
Nikki's mom said it wasn't very nice of us to call this the worst of the riot. Then we played it for her. She's okay with it now. It's the Worst of the Riot 2017 on Radio U.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I was reading a friend's status update. Here's what it says. I awoke to chunky watermelon surprise.
It's so gross. And you're like, is that a sorbet? It's not.
Here's what I thought. I was like, even like Twitter, Facebook, nobody presents messages chronologically anymore. So I thought that perhaps chunky watermelon surprise was like he loves watermelon and like maybe his wife had made him like a surprise like, hey, honey, look.
Like you woke up on Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Chunky watermelon surprise.
Nope.
That's not what it was. Apparently someone was throwing up. And he said that he could tell exactly what they had eaten just before bed.
So not what I want to hear. So in the day. Doesn't matter what time of the day is. I don't want to hear that.
Well, I love throw-up stories because I'm sick. You're sick. So, Nikki, tell me your throw-up story. You're saying, like, have you ever been throwing up, like, in your sleep? Because this person
wake up to it?
Woke up throwing up.
Yeah, the one that I remember the most is there's this thing, it's like a 7-layer like a dip sort of thing.
Even I know that Nikki can't eat 7-layer dip.
I can never ever eat it. I get nervous around it at like parties. I don't like it because I was at my grandmother's house when I was really young and I had that and I probably had too many sugar cookies. And I had some sort of like flu or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I remember
sugar cookies and 7-layer dip.
It was a wicked combination.
Put that down in the ninja.
That's why it's like I remember that feeling and the after effects of it. But I remember waking up almost like a possessed sort of thing where you wake up and my head wasn't spinning, but it was just I threw up everywhere in the bed. Yeah. And then I threw up on the way to the bathroom. the whole hallway. And my mom, like, I think that's just the best, not for like them, but like for you, like your mom loves you enough to clean up after you. Because it was so bad. Like, you should probably change the carpet bad. Well, your mom just has to do that.
I don't think about this. I don't think it's that your mom loves you so much that she has to clean up after you.
And she
I think
lives with you. Yeah, she has to clean that up.
The very carpet that you're throwing up all over is the carpet that she's going to have to walk on the next day.
That was the main walkway, carpet to go downstairs, and I was so sick that time. So, yeah, that's the only time I remember, like, waking up. Otherwise, just the normal stuff.
I'm not saying your mom doesn't love you. I know she does, but there's also self-preservation involved in a situation like that. Like, well, we have to do this.
I just remember waking up going, I think I'm sick. I think I don't feel good. And now we, again, can't have ever a 7-layer dip. Mm-hmm. Any layers. I don't even like, what's the trifles or whatever? I get nervous around layers. And then the sugar cookie stuff.
See, I wasn't a big vomiter. My stepbrother, on the other hand, like every other night, just always throwing
weak stomach.
up. Like, just always throwing up. It was like this constant stream of throwing up.
You're like, are you doing this for attention? What are you doing?
No, but he was a night thrower-upper. It was just like we'd be asleep and then there we go again. They wake me when it's over.
As long as it's not on me, it's
just
fine.
Don't get. That's exactly right. Don't get it on me. But no, I only remember throwing up at night one time, and I remember waking up, and I can still remember the imagery of waking up and doing like almost like a push-up, and then like taking. My big concern was that my stuffed animal would get hurt, so I remember flinging it as far as I could, and then throwing up all over my bed.
But then you have that panic.
Watermelon surprise.
You have that panic where you're like, just keep it on the bed. Like, don't throw up anywhere. Like the one time I was going to throw up in the car, and I was debating whether to empty my purse out, like just to throw up in my purse or what.
That was the fare.
Yes, it was the fare, but I was driving my mom's car.
Your mom's car.
So I didn't want to throw up in her car.
You'd be back to throwing up on something of your mom's. Like, hey, Mom, could you come out and clean the car? I threw up all over the carpet. She's like, again? I thought I was done with this.
Oh, just memories,
Stop throwing up on Mom's carpet, okay?
I very rarely throw up, but those are the ones that just come to memory with it.
They get you. I want you guys to know the stuffed animal's alive and well and may still be near me. Not right now, but, at home when no one's looking.
Still have it somewhere.
Could be.
That's great. You just stick him in a box?
No. He's sitting out in a chair.
Oh, okay. That's
He's
fine.
got a place. He's probably playing my Xbox right now.
3, 2, 1. Resolutions? Talk to us next week. Right now, it's leftovers, sleeping, and the worst of the riot 2017. Happy New Year! On Radio U.
I read the essay that you sent me yesterday about how the letters/pub scene is one of the finest examples of romantic tension.
In Persuasion.
Persuasion
is my favorite Jane Austen, which is not as flashy as like Pride and Prejudice or, some of the other more well-known ones. But Persuasion is still my favorite. So I sent you an article on it.
I did. I read it. It's interesting. I read Persuasion a couple years ago, and I didn't hate it, but I did not.
It's not like going to be your favorite thing.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it the way that Nikki does. It is always interesting to have somebody come along and point things out to you in the text. And so this essay pointed out how Persuasion has one of the most biting descriptions of any female character in any of her books. And I'm like, I glanced right over that.
Didn't notice it.
Didn't notice what an insult it was to her when they described her as she was very much changed.
Yes.
And so it was supposed to be she didn't look like she was 18 anymore because she was the ripe old age of 27. Ancient by those standards, practically a spinster, they say.
If you start feeling like now, like you can't find somebody and you feel like you are getting older, but you're not, just realize back in those days, like 27 was just...
You were ancient.
Beyond ancient.
But in fairness, they expect you to be dead at 28. So.
Of course. Got to get married early.
Medicine was different then. And
it was different times.
The food supply.
Yes.
And people were shorter and skinnier and deader. because
quicker.
that's the way everything happened.
Oh, now you really know how to make it a romantic book.
No, but it was interesting. It was. I felt like I was in, a lit class where someone was explaining to me the tension between the two of them realizing that they loved each other, the passing of the note.
Captain Wentworth.
He passed her a note,
A
guys.
letter, yes.
So you know what? It's a note. It's what it was.
But it was coming from...
it was a love note.
So I think they wrote that
Do
article
you think
around
he did that
Valentine's
little thing
Day.
where it's got a little tab and you write pull on the tab and you pull
you
it
open
out
up.
and
No,
it
we
unfolds?
always did the, like the... Gosh, you would... It's...
Fatty 2x4. No. What is it?
How are my hand gestures anything along those lines?
Well, because I felt like you were...
No,
it's a
how
rhyme.
is that anything like that? You make it into, and it's got the 4 tabs, and you could go, do you like I like you a lot, very, 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 very much. And you open it.
Fatty 2. Is that...
No.
No?
Was that ever called that? Was that by you, the boys? Did you guys used to call it that?
I don't know.
I thought those things used to have a name.
You know what, Nikki? I'll just be honest with you. I was very immature for my age.
So you probably did say
I
that.
probably did.
Well, that was kind of like where you would say, do you like me? I like you a very, very, very lot.
Very, very... But see, you could you can add a very for every time and change the outcome.
Yes, that was it. You added very until you got what you wanted. And you're like, oh, he likes me a lot. Very, very, very a lot.
Did that bring you cold comfort when you were not sure if he liked you? You were just like, no, it's here. Look, according to the paper thing.
Was it cootie catchers? Maybe? No, I thought there was something else they used to call them.
Wait. So.
Well, we don't have to talk about it. It's fine.
Good. All right. Well, I've enjoyed our time together.
Well, we've gone from literature of Jane Austen to the one fortune-telling thing when you were a kid in school and if the person
Nikki,
liked you a lot.
There was a lesson there. You controlled your own fortune. So today, you decide how it's going to go. Hi to David, who just texted. He said he took a Jane Austen class in college and loved persuasion.
Yay!
Happy birthday. Have a great day.
What was his name again?
That was David.
David, thank you.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Nikki.
You're listening to the Worst of the Riot 2017, which means you should probably be rethinking your life right now. Radio U.
You know that old saying, you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, or a woman. You give a person.
Thank you.
You give a person a fish.
But if you were to teach the person.
If you taught a person to fish, then they can have fish every day. And I'm like, that's gross because I hate fish.
But, I mean, you could insert, teach a man to...
Teach a man to order...
kill a cow.
You could give a man a Happy Meal, teach a man to order a Happy Meal. And
something along those. So more updated, current version.
Right. That's it. So, there are a lot of days that you probably listening to The Riot will hear us talk about God. We'll say something about having a relationship with Jesus or whatever. And you might think, man, that really helped me. I'm really glad that you said that. Well, I've given you a fish, but here's the thing. It's time for you to learn to go fishing. It really is. It is time for you to have your own relationship with God and to let God directly begin to work in your life and let God encourage you and be there with you. And it's not that complicated. It really is as simple as just saying, hey, Jesus, you know what? I'm not perfect. I need you in my life. I want you to come in, fill me with your spirit, and I want us to be together. And, the thing is, God is with you all the time, and he is often talking to you. So here's the thing I want to take it one more step. Don't just one time when you hear me or Nikki or Hudson or Josh or Zach or whoever say that, like, hey, invite God into your life. Don't just let that be the one time that you and God have a conversation. Take some time today and tomorrow, but let's focus on today. Today, take some time to talk to God. And then take some time and be quiet and just kind of see what God is saying to you. Take that time. And here's what I found. That time is just about the most precious time in my entire day. A couple times a day, I just take a couple minutes out, spend that time with God. And you might say to yourself, like, well, did God come down like on a fire and then you had these tablets? And no, it's an oddly quiet time where the two of us just kind of sit together. But I'll have to say that when I get up from those moments, my day changes after those moments. Like, so you're rich? And like, no, I just go out and to my desk. But there's something that changes. And whether I'm at home or here at Radio U or somewhere else, when I take that time, things are better. And I can talk to God about what's going on. Like, what the heck's going on with your day? Like, what is it that what bothers you today? Like, what is just bothering you? You can talk to God about that. And God wants to get in where you are. So it's not a one-time thing. This is an all-the-time thing. And it's not just in every few days. You hear Obadiah mention it. Man, this is yours. You can own it and have it every day because God loves you, period. So look, you started a relationship with him. Take time for him. You never have? Start right now. It's a great time, right?
It's the Worst of the Riot 2017 on Radio U.
You know what, Nikki? While we're talking about food, I think we need to talk about what happened yesterday.
Meaning?
We got to stop going for wings, man.
Well, yesterday was Fat Tuesday. So what we do is we get so excited. We're like, no, we're going to the chicken wing buffet. We're going for wings. And then
I get so
wings.
Excited about it.
Yes, you do. You're ready.
I'm pumped. Like, Nikki yesterday was like, wings. And it was just like, yes.
Well, I thought that would fit for the
Fat Tuesday. It seemed perfect. I was excited about it. And I was excited all the way up until I would say about 90% of the way through my meal.
Yeah. And then there's a moment.
There's just this moment where I look at the food and I'm like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? What are we doing?
But I can't tell if that's just because of what we were eating and where we were eating, or would we have felt that after anything? Like we had for whatever we had for lunch.
No, there are things we could have eaten that we wouldn't have felt that way.
Would we have had that if we went to the salad bar?
No.
Regret?
I would.
Well, the price of it, yes.
I would have had those feelings at the beginning. What are we doing? Why are we eating this? But yesterday, throughout the day, that's the thing. It's like we ate it, and then I came back at my desk, and I'm just like, oh, why are we doing this? Why did we do that?
Happens.
And then it was just throughout the day, and it was like a gift that kept giving throughout the evening. Like, oh, why are we? What are we doing?
Regret is painful. It's very painful.
And last night, I just found myself laying there, holding my stomach, going, can't do this anymore.
But we won't go for like a few weeks or a month maybe and be like, well, yeah, remember when you could go to the place where there was all the chicken wings and then we'll go?
Those wings. And then they have these little corn nugget bites. They're these little nuggets with it's like cornbread and they're deep fried. And I know they just came out of a bag.
They're all perfectly uniform. Like 100%, they all look the same.
It's like they are not handmade, whatever. They were stamped in a machine 3 years ago, and they've been frozen since then. But I'm like, oh, corn nuggets.
Well, I too had the regret, but this is just the cycle that we live in.
I know. I realize that our regret will never result in a positive life change because we're incapable of making that. We just can't. Because, as Nikki said, in about a month, one of us will be like,
wings?
You know what would be really good? We should go to that wing buffet again.
And I'll be like, yes, let's do it. And we'll get everybody involved, and we'll go have lunch again, and we'll, again, start this cycle all over.
And it'll be a big, big, exciting time for us. But, daggone, yesterday, what were we doing with our lives?
I stopped by and got a Diet Sprite at Sprite Zero because my tummy was upset. I thought, what am I doing?
So you had to burp yourself to a better you?
I just felt like I needed some sort of medicinal beverage in order to settle my stomach. And that's when, me too, I also had the regret of like, why? Why are we doing this?
You know that we are more than a stone's throw away from a healthy diet?
Yeah.
When Nikki's idea of stopping off for a medicinal beverage was, I stopped off and got some Sprite because my stomach didn't feel good.
That's like a ginger ale, all right? It is medicine. It does settle your stomach.
Okay. I just love the idea of like, I'm not feeling good. I'll go get a Diet Sprite. That'll fix it.
Hey, you just sip on it.
Yeah, Diet Sprite and cake. That always sounds my stomach.
What's in cake? Where did we say cake? Did I say cake?
Well,
we do need to order a cake, though.
They were right next to the checkout there.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U Network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
You know, my mailing address is Wiener.